Hi, kids! I know how it feels to struggle in math. I was just like you. But with hard work, I learned it. Come on, learn math with Teacher Rochelle. Dividing simple fractions and mixed fractions or mixed numbers using cross multiplication.
Let us try this.
Divide the fractions below. 1/5 divided by 6/7. 1/5 divided by 6/7. Let us have the reciprocal of 6/7, which is 7/6. Then let us change the division sign to multiplication sign. Instead of dividing, we will multiply. 1 times 7 equals 7. 5 times 6 equals 30. Remember, a reciprocal of a fraction is simply one of a pair of fractions that, when multiplied together, equal 1. Finding the reciprocal is just interchanging the positions of the numerator and the denominator. To get the reciprocal of a whole number, simply write 1 as its numerator. Examples: 7/4. The reciprocal of 7/4 is 4/7. 6. The reciprocal of 6 is 1/6. Remember, to divide a fraction by another fraction, change the divisor to its reciprocal. Next, change the division sign to multiplication sign. Finally, multiply the numerators and the denominators. Always simplify your answer. Example: 1/3 divided by 1/2. 1/2 becomes 2/1, and the division sign becomes a multiplication sign. Now we have 1/3 times 2/1, and the answer is 2/3. Divide the mixed number by the fraction below. 2 3/8 divided by 2/9. 2 3/8 becomes 19/8 divided by 9/2. 2/9 becomes 9/2, and the division sign becomes multiplication sign. Now we multiply. 19 times 9 is 171. 8 times 2 is 16. The answer is 171/16, or 10 11/16. Remember, to divide a fraction by a mixed number, change the mixed number to an improper fraction. Next, change the divisor to its reciprocal. Then, change the division sign to multiplication sign. Finally, multiply the numerators and the denominators. Always simplify your answer. Example: 2/7 divided by 3 1/2. Change 3 1/2 to an improper fraction because we cannot do the operation with a fraction and a mixed number. 3 1/2 becomes 7/2. So we have 2/7 divided by 7/2. Change 7/2 to its reciprocal, which is 2/7. Change the division sign to multiplication sign. Now we have 2 sevenths times 2 sevenths equals 4/49. Divide the fraction by the whole number. 1/3 divided by 2. 2 becomes 2/1. Then the reciprocal of 2/1 is 1/2. 1/3 times 1/2 is 1/6. Remember, to divide a fraction by a whole number, change the whole number to a fraction by putting the denominator 1. Next, change the divisor to its reciprocal. Then, change the division sign to multiplication sign. Finally, multiply the numerators and the denominators. Always simplify your answer. Example, 6/2 divided by 5. 5 becomes 5/1. So we have 6/2 divided by 5/1. Then 6/2 times 1/5. 1/5 because we had the reciprocal of 5/1, which is 1/5. And the multiplication sign, then the division sign becomes the multiplication sign. So 6/2 times 1/5 equals 6/10 or 3/5.
Let us discuss this.
Dividing fractions using cross multiplication. How do we do this? Let us have examples. Suppose we have 6/7 divided by 3/4. Without giving the reciprocal of the divisor and changing the sign from division sign to multiplication sign, we will just cross multiply. Here is how to do it. So 6 times 4, we multiply the first numerator to the second denominator. 6 times 4 is 24. And the first denominator to the second numerator. 7 times 3 is 21. So 24/21 is not yet in simplest form because it is an improper fraction. We have 8/7. 8/7 in mixed form is 1 and 1/7. This is the final answer. Another example. We have 1 and 1/3 divided by 2/5. So 1 and 1/3 becomes 4/3. How? We multiply 3 to the whole number 1. 3 times 1 is 3. Then add the numerator 1, which is 1. The answer is 4. So we have 4/3 divided by 2/5. Let us cross multiply. 4 times 5 is 20. 3 times 2 is 6. 26 is not yet in lowest terms, so we have 10/3 or 3 and 1/3. Final answer. Third example. 6/8 divided by 2. So we cannot divide by 2 unless it is a fraction. So we put the denominator 1 to 2. So we already have 6/8 divided by 2/1. Cross multiply. 6 times 1 is 6. 8 times 2 is 16. To simplify this, we have 3/8, and it is the final answer. Last example. 2 divided by 1 and 1 half. So 2 becomes 2 over 1 divided by 3 halves. 3 halves because 2 times 1 is 1 plus 1 is 3. So we have 3 halves. Cross multiply. 2 times 2 is 4. 1 times 3 is 3. 4/3 or 1 and 1/3.
Let us answer this.
Give the quotient of each pair of fractions. Using cross multiplication. Did you get them correctly? Very good.
You did great!
Wow, you did a very good job. See you in our next lessons.